This is the Wally Show, and that is none other than Mr. Chris Tomlin. And this is exciting because we have Chris Tomlin live in the studio with us.
Good morning.
This is fun, man,
This is
huh?
awesome.
Oh, I
Good
love
morning.
it. Now, you know him as one of the biggest worship artists of all time, but now you can actually, and that's true. I mean, you would never say that.
That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. But I can say it.
I was going to say something very Trump-like if I would have said that myself.
Oh, really? You're huge.
I'm massive. I'm amazing.
I'm huge, even in China. So we got Chris here with us, and you can add another thing to the list of your accomplishments as an author of all things. And it's an author of a kid's book.
A children's book. And not in my wildest dreams, but I thought, if I was thinking 5, 6, 10 years ago, am I going to write a children's book? No, I know nothing about that.
And people would expect like a deep devotional from Chris Tomlin, who gives us like godly wisdom every day in music. And now we want it in written form.
No, it's Tucker the bear on a journey.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
To meet the raccoons and the foxes and the...
Okay, so it's called Good Father. Yeah. How did this come about then?
Yeah, it's a great question. So I got 2 little girls, 5 and 2. In fact, I just dropped my girl off this morning to preschool on the way here to be on your show. So fun. So my life is in kids' books at night,
right.
And that's a new world for me. And so as I was recording this song, Good Father, the opening line, I've heard 1,000 stories of what they say you're like. Every time I would sing that, I just always loved that opening lyric to that song. I've heard 1,000 stories of what they say you're like. And one day I thought that's a kid's story. There's a way there to teach kids about God being Father. And so the idea just kind of downloaded to me the story just kind of happened. It's like, okay, could I write the story about this little bear?
Why'd you pick a bear?
Okay, that's a great question.
Thank you.
Okay, because first of all, this is deep. Wally, we could take the next hour, but I'll try to be fast. So it was a little girl. And I have little girls.
Right.
And then the editor's like, what kind of books do your girls like to read? And this is their way of
telling you your idea's horrible.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So I'm telling her all the books. She goes, "There's something in common there." I was like, "What?" They're all animals. Kids love animals because when you draw animals, you make them funny. And humans are not funny.
You know what's amazing about this though is you're talking about pitching, and it's just like that scene from Elf.
We open on a young tomato. He's had some tough times down at the farm. Rabbits.
No.
And
everybody's pushing small town rural. Farm book would just be white noise.
Yeah, so that's what you lived.
That's what I lived. And she's like, girl, not gonna happen. Let's do animals. I was like, okay, let's do a little bear. You got to name the bear. Okay, Tucker. That was my friend from high school growing up. Cool. So Tucker is this bear, and he goes on a journey to meet the king. I've heard 1,000 stories what they say you're like, and he wants to know what the king is like because his bear town's in trouble. And so he's cruising through, and he meets the raccoons. The raccoons are like, the king is a warrior. They're all dressed as warriors, and they're like, he helped us, and the battle came, and he fought. Here's a shield. Bring him a shield. And then if he meets the foxes, they're like, no, he's not that. He's a doctor. We were sick, and he healed us. And
interesting.
No. The squirrels are like, no. He goes and meets the squirrels. Are like, no, he's a farmer. We were hungry. He gave us food. And then the owls are like, no, he's a teacher. He's wise. Here's his book. Here, read his book. And it's all these kind of things about, obviously, it's God being a father of all those things, but Tucker's confused because he's like, they're all telling me different things about God. So he finally meets, this is my favorite part, he finally sees the castle where the door is always open. Every time
Spoiler alert.
I haven't read it yet. I haven't got to the end.
I'm going to leave it. But he sees the castle with the door that's always open, which is my favorite little part of the book. And he sees he's going up the castle. He's scared to death. He's going to meet the king, and he's like, I don't know. He doesn't know who he is. He's frightened. He's bringing all these gifts. And we'll stop right there.
Okay, well, there you go. It is a cliffhanger.
Yes.
That is Good Father, the children's book by Chris Tomlin, which I am excited to get to the end because it's a book I could actually read. That's what
He's been spending all week on it. He has bookmarks and earmarks.
It's going to take me a while. I'm not going to lie to you. But I love that. And, C.S. Lewis wrote a book for, people and kids. And the lion was, Aslan was Jesus. Did you get that as a kid? Or did someone have to explain that to you? Because I feel like I'm the only one in the world that went, oh.
No, I didn't. No.
Thank you. No one will admit that.
I did not get that as a kid.
Okay, I didn't either. And so is yours a lion? Is Jesus a lion?
It's a lion. It's a kind of God the Father, and it's amazing. One of the editors, they were reading it to their 6-year-old, and they're like, at the end of it, they sent me a little text saying, "You'll never believe this." Read to the first time for my 6-year-old tonight. They loved it, and at the end they said, "Gosh, that lion reminds me a lot of God."
Oh, really?
And so
So yours is maybe more overt
I
than,
think it's maybe.
C.S. Lewis's.
Or
well,
maybe 6-year-olds get things better
because
than you
I'm-
did.
Or he had pictures, which helps.
Because when you think I'm smarter than C.S. Lewis, you know,
I know.
I'm probably like a better writer, maybe.
Yeah, so that's what I think.
No, that's not it.
This is the Wally Show with Good Father and Chris Tomlin, who is also a great father, from what I hear. Live in studio. I appreciate you being on the show.
Absolutely, it's awesome to be here. Thank you.
And now Chris has an actual book called Good Father, and it's a kid's book. And I love this. It's a great thing for your kids, but not only them, but for other kids as well.
It's Tomlin family approved and tested.
Nice.
With my girls, 5 and 2, that actually keeps their attention. Last night I said, would you like to read the Good Father book that your dad wrote? No.
Oh, really?
So, thanks, Ash.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Ash. You're going to read it if you want to go to college. And you're going to tell your friends about it. So here's what I'd like to do, though, because I think you're on the right track with this first book, but you got to be thinking in game. You got to be thinking sequel, okay?
Okay, wow.
So what we're going to do is
you can't even enjoy the book coming out.
Nope. I mean, it's great that it's out.
Yeah, it's out, but now what's the next thing?
That's exactly it. That's your life. That's music.
Right.
What
have you done for me lately?
Yes. You're only as good as your last album.
Oh, thank you.
So here we go. All right. So we're going to write your next book, the sequel, and it's a kid's book, and we're going to write it 3 words at a time, okay? So we'll go around the room. Becca and Betty are going to help us. If you cannot do it or you use too many or too few words, you are out.
Three words.
Yes. And if you're out, if you go out during any point in time of this, we get the royalties, okay?
For your first book, too.
Yes.
You signed that deal coming in, right?
Yes, I did.
So,
I saw that paper in the foyer office. Was that what that was?
Yeah, you thought it was an autograph.
Right.
Please.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Once upon a time,
There was a
little pig that
liked to wear
bacon suits and
find irony in
how much he
loved the smell.
of delicious bacon.
but what was
interesting about that
This pig was
A new believer. I'm going to make it a Christian book.
you just got a publishing deal with
Yes,
that.
I did.
With that.
Yay!
new believer who listened to
Wally in the
Here's the problem.
afternoon.
You don't even know what show we're on, Rock. What is wrong with you? Rock's out. Rock's out. Betty Rock is out for not
it was
knowing
my
the show. No. So this little
pig who loved
bacon and ham.
was also Canadian.
weird, right?
That's 2 words.
I
Wish that the
Canadian pig was.
a hockey player.
There you go.
but he loved
Jesus. The end. Nailed it! Nailed it! Jesus juked it and finished the book for you. Sometimes it's the hardest thing to do is finish it, Chris. That's what I decided to do for you. That is new music from Chris Tomlin, and I love the fact that we have Chris live here with us.
so good, man. I'm really here. I'm not on the phone.
I know.
I'm looking at you.
I love it, man. I love it. And
Almost
he's,
eye to eye.
Yeah, he's standing up.
I'm just a little. I'm having to look down just a little bit.
I don't see that. There's been a debate going on as to whether I am taller than Chris or not, and a lot of people have said, "Oh, you tower over him." I don't know who those people are, but I think they're
don't
right.
exist.
So we started off, and Chris stood up, and so I instantly stood up as well. I'm like, okay, well, that's how we're gonna do this interview. All right, I'll stand too, toe to toe, eye to eye. Here we go. So Chris has got some new music out, which I'm excited about. Is this your 11th album?
11th album, 11th studio record, not counting Indie Passion Records or
Right.
best of whatever, but 11th studio full length album, and it is amazing to think that here we are, and still passionate. I'm as passionate, as excited about this music as I ever have been. Cannot wait for people to hear these songs.
That's good.
Out today.
Do you ever fear about like running out of ideas?
Yes,
because there's only so many chords.
Yes, there is only so many chords, only so many notes. It's amazing how music can just it happens. You think about all the music made, and there's only a certain amount of notes there. And after every time I make an album, I honestly think that's it.
I got nothing left. I know. I kind of understand
That's
that.
it. You're every day after your show, right?
I'm like, what's tomorrow going to be? No idea.
I don't know. And so, like for me, it's like, and then, but I'm surrounded by an amazing a team of songwriters that we have the same kind of heart. And when I'm talking about these guys, you know, a lot of them: Matt Maher, Matt Redman,
Matt Maher. I did that to him at the Dove Awards on the red carpet, and every time he'd walk near me, I'd go, Matt Maher, and then he'd be like, what? I'm like, can I borrow gum? Matt Maher. I just drove him
love
crazy.
saying his name.
Yeah, I drove him crazy all night, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, so I have a lot of friends that we always get together and write a lot of songs, and so that's what comes out of the strength of these songs is collaboration with friends, and love making this music. It's grateful. I'm so grateful to be still as a part of this and just still loving this as much as I ever have in this music.
And that's good too with the success. We're talking to Chris Tomlin. I mean, the actual commercial success that you've had with it is great. And I think that's God touching something and honoring something, and still to see your heart about this all these years later, as far as just getting people to that point to worship the God that you serve is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
But do you ever fear like you go, wow, we've covered a lot of the big concepts in the Bible. I got writer's block. Let's go to Habakkuk. You know, are there are there books in the Bible you haven't touched yet?
There's plenty. There's not a lot of Leviticus in there. Not a lot of, just,
not a lot of begat in your music.
Yeah, not a lot of. Yeah, exactly. Here's numbers for you.
Yes.
Yeah. Here's all the people who have. Here's the lineage. It's maybe of our faith.
I noticed you spent a little time in the Psalms, but I'd like to see something maybe from Ezekiel.
Exactly. I think that one day, whenever we get home into heaven, we're gonna I'm gonna meet David, and I think he's gonna have some words with me. He's gonna be like, "Man, Chris, this is King David I'm talking about." He's like, "You got a lot of credit for stuff I wrote."
Yeah, exactly.
I should be a co-write.
It's like you got a lot of credit for stuff I wrote. I think because so much of the songs I pull from the Psalms. Some of my songs people of love. I mean, I remember when I was just reading Psalm 104 one day, and I just on my sofa, and How Great Is Our God came out just by reading Psalm 104. Wrote that song, and so I can go down the list of so many songs that have come from the Psalms.
That's the crazy thing, though, about like How Great Is Our God. It's 5 words. Sometimes I would think the most difficult thing of writing a song is the simplicity.
Yeah, I always say this: simple's not easy, and you know that. Anybody to make something simple doesn't mean it's easy, and I always strive for that. Even with this new record, I want songs that are simple, accessible to people, to give voice to people to worship God. That's something that people can really say to God and sing to God. That is. And so how does that translate to the person who is tone deaf, who can't clap on 2 and 4, who's sitting there on Sunday like Wally and sitting there on Sunday mornings at their church, and they're not thinking about music every day like I am, but they're thinking, and when they're walking to their church, what's something that you can give them that's they can just say to God in such a powerful way? I mean, what is it about Amazing Grace that makes the whole world sing? It's a very simple song. Yet it makes the entire world sing, and I'm always looking for that. I'm always praying for that.
Maybe because it's the simple truth. I think that's what we do, is we add too many words, or we add too many concepts to what Jesus made simple.
Yes.
And we've made it difficult. His whole thing was like simplicity in faith.
Yeah, and even on this album, on the deluxe, the last song on the deluxe record is called Kyrie eleison, which means Lord have mercy. And I wrote that with Redman and Matt Maher.
Matt Maher. You will never call him anything but Matt Maher.
But the simplicity, I was thinking of a prayer for our nation in the midst of this, what we're going through, of like, gosh, it seems like every day there's so much fear and so much ripping people down and all these things. And I thought, what can we, when things like these terrorist attacks happen, what do you want to give? What can people say? And the simple prayer, Lord have mercy. That's from the scriptures, the Jesus prayer, Lord have mercy on me. And that's what I'm always trying to do. How great is our God? How simple is that? I never thought people would sing it because I thought it was too simple. But I'm always coming at that, just like you said, is a simple truth, something that's powerful that maybe God can touch.
Well, I can't wait to be singing some of these songs on the new album in the very near future in our church, because I know they're going to work their way into there real quick. But don't worry, they do license and you'll get paid.
Somehow you'll get it.
This is The Wally Show, and that is Chris Tomlin, new music from him. And I am so excited to have Chris live on the show with us, man. It's fun.
Thank you so much. You're the best, man. This is so much fun.
That's weird. You and I have the same opinion about that. But it's, I think a lot of people don't understand like what a good sport you are and what a good sense of humor you have.
Your co-hosts here, they don't even laugh.
No.
Yes.
They just stare.
The fact that he has that opinion of himself is that makes sense.
They know. But you're a good sport. You're a good sport, actually.
Thank you so much.
And I really appreciate that about you. So here's what I want to do. I don't think a lot of people know this, but there's a club that you're in now, the 1 Billion Stream Club, okay? And this has Garth Brooks, Pitbull, Justin Timberlake, and one Mr. Chris Tomlin.
I know, it's crazy.
1 billion with a B people have streamed your music.
Yes.
That's got to be a little humbling.
That's a little bit, a lot. Never would have dreamed that. And honestly, when I said that the night when I received that award at the GMAs, and I love saying it even today, is that it speaks to the strength of this genre of music. You know, because that's saying something about Christian music, that it is. It's not like this lesser genre or something like that. I mean, you can tell people, obviously it says people are hungry to hear the music. They're passionate about the music. They have a desire for the music, and that the church is strong and alive, and just to represent that way is really, really cool to me. And what an honor. And to be in the class with those cats is pretty amazing.
Yeah, even Pitbull. I mean
right. That's the best. That's my favorite part of the whole.
I know.
Of the four.
And that's the thing.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, and now you're Mr. Galaxy because you got God on your side, which is fantastic, Mr. Universe.
Yeah.
So here's what I'd like to do, because that is, and I love the fact that God is represented in that.
Absolutely.
So here's what I'd like to do, though. Like, now you guys are in a club. You guys could call each other, maybe tweet back and forth and hang out.
Yeah, we're really close.
Yeah, collaborate.
We're very close.
So what would it sound like if Chris Tomlin was collaborating?
Can I say this? Well,
Yes.
My favorite thing about that is whoever the next person to receive that is, wow, you're in a club with Garth Brooks, Pitbull, Justin Timberlake. Chris, never heard of him.
That guy. But the thing is I would love to hear what it would sound like if you, Chris Tomlin, did a collaboration, because that happens a lot, especially in this kind of club, with like Justin Timberlake, and like one of your songs with one of his melodies. Like, what would that sound like? Are you up for this?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sure they're going to be calling me. And I want you to do this.
You want to be practiced.
Let's do this here.
So here we go. This is a mashup between Justin Timberlake and one Mr. Chris Tomlin.
Okay. How great is our God? Oh, sing with me. Yeah. How great, how great. How great is our God?
Oh, the face he's making too.
Yeah. I could see you and JT doing
You're the
this.
name above all names. All
Wow.
names. All names.
All names, because you got to make it commercial still. So just keep hitting that. All names.
All names. Oh my God.
That was fantastic.
Amazing.
I love
Yeah.
that. All right, so that's one.
Hopefully no one is listening. Everybody's at work now, right?
No. Everyone's enjoying this, and fortunately, all this stuff lives online forever. So you're going to be getting a call from JT. What about if Garth Brooks called you? Because I think you're like a country guy too, right?
I love Garth.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, the guy's songs, amazing.
So what if you took one of your amazing songs, Good Good Father, and you partnered it with one of Garth Brooks' songs? What would that sound like? I'm sorry to put you on the spot like this, but I'm not, because this is funny.
I've heard 1,000 stories of what they say you're like, but I've heard the tender whisper of love in the dead of night.
This works.
And you tell me that you're pleased that I'm never alone. I need the chorus to come in. Here comes Wally. Here comes. You're a good, good father. It's who you are. It's who you are. I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am.
And you don't even have to worry about like being redundant in this song. Like you could add Good Good Father a few more times and be golden.
Yes.
Yeah, good.
What do you think?
I love it.
Oh, it's
I like the
amazing.
twang.
I love it.
There was a little bit of country twang in it.
Your
I
Your
sold
voice was
it.
spot on.
You are killing this. You
Missing
are
the
killing
banjo.
this.
That's it.
Good father.
Well, now let's see how you do
Two.
with probably one of the hardest ones yet, Pitbull. All right.
Okay.
So it seems to make sense if you were to take your song God's Great Dance Floor and combine that with Pitbull. I
Okay.
think that seems to work to me.
Okay, yeah, let's do it.
You ready, Mr. Worldwide?
Okay, here we go.
Hey! Oh! Hey! Oh! Hey!
Miami, Dallas, hey, I feel alive. I come alive. I am alive. God's great dance floor. I feel alive. I come alive.
Yeah!
I am alive. God's great dance floor. Nashville, Tampa, Chicago, New York, Canada.
Just start naming anything.
Dolly,
Wallet, iPhone, shoes. That is fantastic. Nicely done.
man.
You are Mr. Worldwide.
Oh, my
You have
gosh.
superseded him on that. Oh, that actually kind of worked.
Please, still go buy my record. Please, still.